Good morning.
Welcome in, everyone. First of all, we hope you enjoyed the all-new update free show. Something new we're trying out. Definitely have to give.
That was not exactly. That was just art show and everything. Don't worry, we didn't miss any patch stuff.
Now it is time for the Trickster God update.
I'm gonna
show,
adjust the volume here first, so hopefully you can hear everyone this time.
SMITE over the next few weeks. Got a ton of balance, ton of awesome
Looks
skins,
okay
and
so far.
Of course, what you all have been waiting for, the long-awaited Loki Rework.
Yeah.
And I'm Isaiah, your host. And of course, with me, I've got my buddies from the design team to break everything down. I've got Clumsy and Pon Pon. How are you guys doing
just
today?
a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm doing good.
Time.
Oh, and there goes the volume adjustments.
What I should say.
Everyone's
yes, super excited.
All right, let's get right into it. We're going to cover the Loki Rework towards the bottom of the show, but we got a lot of awesome stuff to cover first, so let's hop right into it, and let's talk about bonus balance that's heading everybody's way next Tuesday.
Oh, wow, they're quick right now.
And we'll go ahead and kick it off with gods, and we're going to start off with Amaterasu. Amaterasu seeing a lot of pick, especially in pro play.
I didn't even say ahoy yet.
Glorious charge.
Okay, good.
Decreasing the base damage.
Good change. Starting off with a good one.
Dazzling offensive. We're doing
She's super annoying at the moment.
A couple of damage decreases on two of her abilities. What's going on with Ama, guys?
Yeah. So we saw a lot of success with her when she got the extra clear from her shield charge, but we didn't really offset any of her late game strength or her boxing capability. So the glorious charge
fully agree.
Glorious charge change takes away some of that damage. While dazzling offensive late game is hitting the kind of top end damage she can deal, just to bring her down a little bit and bring her more in line with other warrior choices.
Cool. All right, next up, we've got Cthulhu seeing a nerf here to Sever, which is the ultimate ability number 1. We're going to be.
They keep nerfing Sever specifically, which is very interesting.
As well as decreasing the magical power scaling by 5%.
But I'm okay with
I'll
it.
Let Clumsy take it away here.
Yeah, I mean, ever since Cthulhu came out, he obviously released in a pretty strong state. Since then, we've been trying to find appropriate places to nerf him, looking at his damage, looking at the duration of his ulti. Now, that was a pretty big one, and that directly impacts how much damage he can deal over the course of the entire ulti. We still want to do a little bit of a target nerf on Sever to make sure that, especially at the late game, right, because this is a late game base damage and late scaling, he's not doing, as much damage. Guardian role, he needs to be careful with how much he can put out. So it's just small more. It's a little bit of a few tweaks.
All right, so going from a really big god to a really small god, Cupid up next, a hunter that's seeing a big rise among the ranks.
Yes.
Awards all the ADCs. We're going to be doing a nerfed Cupid here, and the healing on hearts. We're going to be decreasing the physical power scaling on the heal from 25% to 20%.
Interesting choice of nerfs, but fair.
Yeah, so Cupid really just kind of like rose up after the increased damage to his wave clear capability, but he brings a lot to the team besides that. He has a good team fight ultimate, he has team sustain, and so rather than like try and tone back down that strength that we just gave him, he hasn't been really in the meta for quite some time anyway. We're just going to take away some of the healing that he brings to his team, especially the scaling late game. He can contribute kind of a large burst heal to his team, and toning that down will bring him more in line with their hunter choices.
All right, going from a physical ADC to a magical ADC up next. Freya going to be seeing some nerfs in bonus.
Also, no surprise. Wow. So far they're going for the guards I was hoping for.
Decreasing the base damage on the ability.
Hopefully all around as well.
So yeah, we're talking about a couple of hunter things today. Mage ADCs as a whole has not been as much of an issue before. We think Hakate is in a much better spot. All around adjustments we made prior are pretty good. Freya just she's still seeing a lot of competitive play in the SPL and in ranked games. So we want to touch her ulti just a little bit. It's only 10 damage, but it's per shot for her ulti, so it's going to add up a little bit, and I think it's going to make you feel a little bit more fair when you're versing against her.
I think Hikata is still an issue.
All right, moving right along. Let's talk about Hun Bats. Now, Hun Bats got a buff in the last update. We said we're going to keep an eye on him. Well, we kept our eye on him, and now we're scaling that back just a little bit for Fear No Evil, and we're going to be increasing the cooldown.
Oh my god.
Kind of a midway mark to where it was before, and I'll let Pon take it here.
Yeah, we've seen Hunbots in particular be very sensitive to his ultimate cooldown being adjusted. A lot of characters don't actually really respond that much to it, but Hunbots really, really did. So we were averting a change that brought him too far down, but people were saying, no, this is still happening too often. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the middle ground between those two numbers we selected before, and then see if we need to go any further from there.
I feel like they changed the last bit there.
Bonus balance. We've got Rama. He's been faring really, really well after the rework. earlier this year. So we're going to be doing a nerf here to Astral Strike. We're going to be decreasing the
Interesting.
slow duration from 2 seconds to
Not the
1.5
god I
seconds.
expected, but honestly,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Just
not
like you
upset
said,
about it
Cupid and
either.
Rama have been the hunters that have really excelled. Rama specifically because of the passive, and because he can get better use of those Astral Strike arrows, we wanted to make sure it's not too frustrating to play against him. Lowering that slow duration just means that now that he's getting more arrows, you're not going to be slowed as often as consecutively. There are going to be
That's
more
fair.
hunter itemization changes.
Doesn't
coming
really
up,
change his
so we
damage
just want to see
directly,
one small
so-
targeted nerf here for Rama.
I'm on that
Sure,
Hornbats
well,
thing
that
though.
wraps it up for bonus balance. So a few nerfs targeted towards the very, very top end of competitive play. So I'm excited to see how that shakes out. But let's talk about some of the awesome skins that are coming out in the bonus update next week. And we'll kick it off with
Oh, that was bonus
Cybernetic
balance?
Uller. He is going to be in the
Oh yeah, we've
Fighting
seen these
Machine
skins.
chest next week. And this one looks really, really awesome. Kind of like a
Oh my god,
cyborg
there's
type
actually a
skin.
nerf
I
to
believe
late
we
game
have the
Hornbats.
card art ready
I was
for you guys that
wondering.
will be popping up on screen in just a second. So what do you
No,
guys
never
think
mind. No,
about
it's wrong. No,
Cybernetic
okay. No,
Uller?
it's still a buff. Misread
Ooh,
that.
fancy.
Disregard. It's still a buff,
I'm definitely
but
all like the
loving
little-
the edge.
less of a buff. Okay,
Yeah,
fair
like
enough.
all little bits
Yeah.
of like on his armor, the shininess, the like mask that's like looks like it's a filtration system.
I really want to
Did-
see what's
did
special
he
about the
kill
skin.
those guys in the back there in the card art, or is he allied with those guys?
I'm pretty sure he killed those guys, and
Oh,
we've got the
What a guy.
in-game turnaround that we'll be
Yeah,
able
really-
to see that give people
Yeah,
just a little bit of
give
closer
us-
look on his model. And as you can see, he's got all the weapons.
Well, it looks a
ready
bit
to kill
shinier,
and
which is
take out and
nice, but
assassinate anybody
still
that
not
he
impressive
has
to
a
me,
contract for.
personally.
Looking super sweet.
Well,
Let's go ahead and take
I don't
a
know.
listen to the voice pack for Cybernetic Uller.
I've destabilized planetary democracies and exterminated entire alien species. This should be a piece of cake.
He definitely looks like he is equipped for the job. Next up for skins in the bonus update coming out to you guys, we've got Blobkiss Bacchus.
Yes.
He's going to be available in the Slimy Blob chest, and this one looks
Yes.
super awesome. Definitely the art team
oh, give
told
me
us to
that.
give everyone shout outs because this one, it's something that we've never really done before, but just the take, he looks so happy, but so intimidating at the same time.
I really hope he has
That's
good
what we
animations.
this one.
This is a highlight skin right here. I've been so excited. We've seen this one in the game, and immediately everyone was like, you know what? I kind of want to play support today because I want to play this skin because it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at that turnaround.
Yeah, the mics are way
in-game,
more
'cause as
quiet
you can see
now.
in the card art,
I'm
he's
sorry
got the
about
bits
that.
floating around, and all those different
Try and
bits
adjust
have,
them
like,
again.
animations that you can see just kind of bouncing around. So I imagine as he belly flops on things, he just kind of absorbs them into
He's
his
on
blob.
backside.
Oh my
Let's
god, I
just live
didn't
with him now.
see the butt
That's
crack.
him. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Blobkiss.
I wish they would show the animations.
If you come any closer, Blobkiss will suck you into its stomach.
Exactly
Oh
like
my
I was
gosh.
thinking. Belly flop right into the stomach. I'm loving
Oh,
the
yeah.
green on that skin too. Well, let's take a little bit of a walk on the darker side here and talk about Dark Lord Chalk is our next skin that's coming out in the Odyssey Reckoning event. And this one, like I said, is definitely on the darker side. Pawn, what do you think on this one?
I wonder
my
how many
gosh.
Dark
I love
Lord
any of these
skins they have
like
at this point.
like black and red with like the glowing bits of like red on them. Like it just looks so cool.
That's
It's
probably a
just
good point to
color
say
scheme,
it.
Good art style.
Sorry if
love
I
it.
have any lag at any point.
For sure. And as
My
we go
internet
in
is
game, kinda
actually
check out the turnaround. This one
been
reminds
having
me of,
issues
who
suddenly
was that
this
skin
morning,
for? The
like
old older
really
Sun
bad. So
Wukong
I
skin
hope everything's fixed
reminds me.
now.
He's got the similar vibe there.
That's right.
For sure. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack.
Death couldn't stop me. What hope do you have?
Ooh,
All
spooky.
right. And now,
Right.
the one everyone's been waiting for. We spoiled it a few weeks back, but the next skin from the Odyssey Reckoning that we want to show off is Gambit Queen Hera. And first of all, I have to give a super huge shout out to Rob Draws on the amazing concept.
Let's see. The original
Floated
plan was
around
to show off the
community for a
entire
long
skin.
time, got a lot of big reception, and we just decided, let's just give the people what they want. Like, let's make this skin happen. We made some treatments to Hera to kind of up it just a little bit more, but this skin just turned out amazing as we get ready to pull up the card art. Clumsy, what do you think about this one?
I mean, this is one of those skins where, like, it just makes you really want to play that god, you know? I mean, like, Hera's a lot of fun anyways, but I don't see many people playing anything but this skin. I mean, from the card art to what you actually see in game, the model and the effects is just fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the turnaround, the model in game. because definitely the treatment.
Wait,
on
they
that
said they're gonna
both
show off the entire
Hera-
animations.
Argus already looks amazing.
I can,
Hera
well, I
looks
can't spoil
amazing.
something yet,
This
but I
skin
have
is
something
definitely
cool
A+
coming up for this skin
S tier
specifically.
skin. And I believe after we take a listen to the voice pack, we're gonna go ahead and go in game and show you guys what it
okay.
looks like. So
gonna say.
let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice.
I would have
pack,
been
and
upset
we'll get in
otherwise.
game to show you guys the abilities.
You could play against me, but Lady Luck has never left my side.
There we go, Lady Luck. There she is, Gambit Queen Hera. And immediately, all the basics look super awesome.
Wow, what is on that
Yeah,
projectile?
the gold
Huge.
outlines with the red inside. Then you can see that.
Oh,
nice.
The cards.
That's really nice.
I love how when the fist collides.
Oh my god, they
coins
actually went
just
all out
kinda
with every
jump out
ability,
and
even the
hit a
2.
jackpot.
Yeah, you
And
get
then
the,
on
the card suit motif on a lot of these, and it's looking really fine.
Oh my
Look at
god.
that shield.
Oh, that's so
You've got
cool.
That
the
is
dice.
so
Oh,
cool.
my
So
So
goodness.
good.
Yeah, that shield is awesome. That looks amazing.
Wow.
Like the
And I was gonna
roulette
say,
style.
They honestly made this
more,
better
it
than I
looks like you've
expected.
got some hints of like some of the card suits as well, and of
Yep,
course
yep.
you've got Big Daddy Argus.
The animation of
king
Argus
the
himself
casino.
was like almost, compared to everything else, is almost underwhelming because
Yeah,
it just
the
drops down like
fidelity on the
normal.
model as well. It's like all
Ooh,
the
the
intricate
card.
details. Honestly, on both models, Hera, Argus, and the skin effects, it's just out there. Well done.
Most definitely. The team killed it on all the different aspects, modeling, rigging, animation effects. This one looks super awesome. Coming your way in the Odyssey Reckoning update that is coming next week for the bonus part of it. And we've got one more skin that's coming your way in the bonus update. And this one is been floating around in the community for a
Oh, the
little bit.
Bakasura?
People were wondering, hey, how do I get the skin? This one is Code Eater Bakasura. And I'm really digging
actually
this one.
in-game
It's
in a
kind of
really
in the
weird way.
theme of the old Codebreaker Osiris skin. It's kind of a mix of mech, sci-fi, space, and as you guys take a look at the card art, definitely
Alright, so
looking
cut off so
clean
weirdly,
there.
sorry.
Look at how he's just absorbing the other. I guess he was his friend at one point, but not so much now.
It's uncropped.
I've been waiting for this one. This one is so sick.
I actually
Like
have
the,
not
sure.
all the
seen
effects
this
and
one.
everything.
Oh, and it is looking awesome.
I know, right? Let's go ahead and pull up that turnaround video and take a little bit of a closer look at the model here. I'm definitely loving the accents, the red accents.
Yeah, I looked at it in
and
game.
those
It's not
blades look
crazy
sick.
anything.
This
Just got
is
some
I'm not
yellow
sure if those are
glow.
wings or part of the shoulder.
Weirdly
pads. I
enough,
love
in his
how they
3, his
glow
arms
around.
glow as well.
Just kind of giving the sci-fi vibe there.
I guess just for visual clarity, but
Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Code Eater Bakasura.
I escaped 6 different intergalactic prisons, but you think you can hold me back?
Nice. Well, that wraps it up for all the skins coming you guys' way next week in the bonus update for 7.9. So let's go ahead and talk about some community news. And Pond and Clumsy, there's kind of a lot here. We got a lot to talk about. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to kind of start rattling through these.
Go
And if you
for it.
guys want to chime in on anything, feel free. So first up, we just showed off Code Eater Bakasura, and he is actually going to be available for you guys in a new promotion that we are doing with Prime Gaming. So this is a 9-month-long promotion. There's going to be a different skin that you guys can pick up if you're Prime Gaming members for free, as long as you have your accounts linked. You'll want to make
So
sure
not-
that
oh,
you have your
Amazon Prime.
high-res and Twitch accounts
Right.
linked, and that
It's
your
Prime
Twitch
Gaming now.
account is linked to your Prime account. That way you can claim these rewards at gaming.amazon.com/smite, or the little crown icon that you guys see at the top right of your screen if you're watching on Twitch. You can click that once this goes live on September 23rd, so the day after the
Completely
bonus
forgot they
update goes
renamed it
live,
as
this skin will be
Prime
available
Gaming.
for you guys. And one thing that I have to note is that once a skin leaves the promotion, it's gone from the promotion, so you won't be able to claim it. So be sure to have your accounts linked and your memberships ready for the 23rd when the skin goes live. And as Pon said, this one is awesome, so you guys definitely don't want to miss out on it.
Pawn endorsed.
All right.
let's see if I can get a
And
free
speaking
Prime.
of Twitch, I
deal
definitely want
somewhere.
to give you guys an update on viewer points. So we've heard a lot of you guys' feedback on viewer points and wanting to expand viewer points to other channels. The team, our game team, our technical team have been looking into it for the past
Oh.
few months, and we're excited to announce that we are in a spot where we're ready to start rolling out viewer points to partner program member channels on a trial basis coming up in the next couple of weeks. So if you're a member of the SMITE partner program, keep an eye
That
on your email. You'll be
is
getting a
sick.
message from us with some more information on how to get involved and how to get started for when this trial launches. We're currently
Finally.
targeting when the 7.10 update goes live. But
That
we're
is
super
actually sick.
excited to start opening up viewer points to some of our other partner program member channels here on Twitch. That way, if you're watching somebody in the partner program, you'll be
I
able
might
to earn
actually
viewer
stream.
points just as if you're watching right here on Smite Game. So
Now, even if I
speaking
don't
of
stream, it's really
another
cool for the other
exciting thing
streamers.
that's coming out in the 7.10 update, October is
It's not
their season to get spooky.
that hard to get involved in the
And if
partner
you guys
program
remember,
these days
we
anyways.
made a treatment to an old adventure map with a little bit of a spooky twist. So we're excited to announce that we're going to be bringing back Classic
Let's
Joust
go.
in the 7.10 update, and
pumpkins.
we're actually going to be bringing back a couple of other adventures for the rest of the year. So Classic Joust will be for the
This was not the
7.10
one I was
update.
hoping for.
We are going to be doing Classic Domination for the 7.11 update.
Yes.
And then finally, Corrupted Arena will return in the 7.12 update. So Classic Joust will be enabled for this update. You guys will be able to reminisce and play on this map, and it'll be super fun.
I just want to play Classic
Clumsy,
Domination.
do you have any?
Because I missed
memories
out
from
on
the
most of
Classic
that last
Joust,
time.
either from back in the day or from when we brought the adventures back.
I mean, back in the day, with I just think immediately the thing was just like, it's just try hard. That's where people went to go for. It's like, all right, 1v1 new wall, old school new wall. Let's go. Let's see who can get this done.
Sure.
Joust was always the place. Old school Joust was always the place.
You love to see it. And speaking of kind of celebrating our past, we want to celebrate our future too. So we are already planning for our birthday event next year. And we're happy to announce that we're opening up community submissions for jump stamps, avatars, and global emotes to be given away for free during this birthday event, similar to what we did earlier this year for our latest birthday. So all the info on how to get involved with that and how to submit your art is on smitegame.com, pinned right there to the homepage. So if you're an artist and want to submit your work for
still
a chance
not
for it to
using
appear
jump
in
stamps.
game, feel free to check those out.
Oh no, I'm not using death
Almost done
stamps.
with community news,
Jump
guys.
stamps,
Next
okay.
up, we've got October is LGBT History Month. So to commemorate this, we're going to be adding a new bundle with a bunch of LGBT flags that you guys will be able to earn for free by getting a first one of the day. So there's going to be the transgender flag, the lesbian flag, the asexual flag, the bisexual
Those
flag,
are new ones then, right?
non-binary flag, and the pansexual flag, all available for you guys to earn in-game and equip coming up in this next update.
That is awesome.
All right. Definitely. Super awesome. We are super excited to get this done. And a couple more reminders before we wrap up community news. First up, the Voyager's Log event is going on right now. Remember, there is a free reward waiting for you every single day as long as you log in and play a game. That event ends on the 22nd, so be sure that you are logging in, playing a game to earn every day's reward. As you can
I
see,
hate that. I wish I could just earn like 5 in one day or something.
Some
Other bulk.
avatars, global emotes, XP boosters. That event ends on
I
the
just have to
22nd,
play
so you
every
don't
day
wanna
and
miss it.
then
And last but not least,
get every day.
we've got SPL coming your way this weekend. Last week was a bye week. I was definitely missing out on my SPL action, but the Phase 3 playoffs were awesome to watch. And speaking of the Phase 3 playoffs, the winners on the NA side, we've got a couple of people making their way up to the SPL. We've got some roster shakeups happening, specifically with E United and Renegades. So you guys definitely don't want to miss SPL this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's
to
actually
see
gonna
the
be
debut
interesting.
of those new rosters. That wraps it up for community news. I know it was a lot. Thanks so much for hanging in there with you guys. We're going to be talking about everything coming your way in the Trickster God update, but that was a lot. I need just a minute to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the other side of this video.
Wait, what? Quick break? Why are we... What?
Well, hey there, guys,
Whoa. I'm concerned. There's background music going on that I feel like I cannot play. Gormeiser's guide actually... Gotta give them props, actually look pretty good. Like, they're actually solid information. I can actually recommend them. I never thought I'd say that, but it's actually first time that they have decent guides on the channel. I don't think they're perfect or anything, and I don't think they replace other guides, but they're actually pretty decent. They're definitely worth having a look at if you're new to a god and you can't find another guide or something. And they're up to date as well, so that's nice. It's gonna be hard for them to keep them updated in the long run, but at least at the moment they are. Ah, my favorite edgy skin battle pass. Actually pretty nice ones. Actually, hopefully I'll finish this one. I should be able to. Right, I'm getting... There's a lot of skins I don't want from these so far. Like, I definitely want the Hera skin, but like, I want to get to the Xingqian skin. Not quite sure which skins I'm gonna get for that, but we'll see.
All right, thanks so much, everybody, for sticking with us. It is time to go over the 7.10 update and
Yes.
everything coming your way on October 2nd in the
Yes.
Trickster God update. Again, we're going to start things off with balance. I still got Pawn and Clumsy by my side, and we'll go ahead and kick things off. And we're going to kick off with items first for balance coming your way in
Oh, let me
7.10.
move up then.
And we'll start off with Atalanta's bow. We're going to be decreasing
Yes.
the attack speed from 30%
No.
to 25%.
Pen.
Also decreasing that movement speed while attacking and strafing that you get after obtaining a kill.
Yeah, so the big thing here is we were looking at ADCs, especially after
Just
the
nerf the
ADCs
pen,
were
man.
changed with some.
This is
nerfs
not a
directly to
pen
some of the
item.
characters as well as the Hate ring stuff. And we were seeing that hunters now are actually in a much healthier spot, but there's a few items, especially build pass with attack speed, that are too effective.
Why?
We want to tone them back without necessarily just removing them.
No, this
as,
is
like,
so bad.
Like as different play styles.
Just
So
give them
Atalantis was
more
the first nerf.
10%
It was
pen
very effective
options,
as a 20%
or
pen
make
item.
Executioner
You're
a
just taking some
20%
attack
pen
speed and some
option.
of its passive strength off to see where it falls.
No one's building Executioner.
Cool. All right, since we're talking
Don't
about hunter items, let's go ahead and talk
Ugh.
about Silver Branch bow.
That's actually
The
upsetting.
other kind of hunter item we're taking a look at.
Worst
in
change.
7.10.
Like, good that they're nerfing it, but
Decreasing the attack speed
wrong way.
by 5%.
Yeah, so like Pon said, you know, hunters in this new itemization tree has seen a lot more play. Silver Branch Bow, we finally got that passive to a spot where I think people are finally excited about it. So we didn't want to
It's
touch
good.
the passive one more time, but we wanted to hit the base stat a little bit with an attack speed reduction. It's a small one.
Yeah, that's
This build
fair.
is
I mean, it's
usually
fine.
seen with a lot of these items together, so these
So
all
it's
these small
just, you
things will
know,
add up.
if you have a
Sure, definitely.
high attack speed
All right,
hunter, it
let's
doesn't
make
even
our way
matter.
and talk about some warrior items here, guys. First up is Gladiator Shield, and this one it's almost to the point of a small rework here, which is pretty exciting.
Okay,
So
that's
I'll go ahead
good.
and read off the stats, and
Because
then we
it's
can
really
talk
awkward.
about it. First of all, we're going to be decreasing
The passive,
cost from
hopefully.
2,500 to 2,400, and then we're changing
Yes.
the passive to make it to where damage dealt is 15 plus 2 per level to 15 plus 35% of your total protections from items, magical and physical, and abilities. And we're also increasing the bonus damage
That's
on
a
the
lot.
activation threshold from 50% to 60%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, this item was
That is
really
a
interesting 'cause
lot.
We reworked it to be a bit more aggressive, remove it from its more sustain-oriented
Vamana?
consideration, but it just wasn't quite doing enough,
Vamman?
and it scaled at weird paces, and there was no way you could really build into it. So now we're going to allow players who want to build like very bruiser, very tanky, to get extra damage late game when they build this. After
You
they
build
a ton of
like
protections,
200
or
prots,
if their kit has some
which
protections
they
built in
easily
where they
do.
can actually, like, use
Sorry,
a stim
70.
and use this, such as, like,
So you,
blue eyes.
and it's magical and
Blue
physical
eyes on someone
combined, so
actually
like
gets
it's
damage
like
off.
105-ish.
So lots of cool stuff here, lots more interesting things to work with. Different
Way
places to
more
fit
than
the
before.
builds. Hopefully we'll see more use of it.
Way more than the 40 you got
All
before.
right,
That's
next up we've got Emperor's Armor. And
huge.
guys, I think Emperor's Armor is pretty good.
It's a late
but it
game
hasn't been
item.
Getting a lot of pickups,
That is
in
huge.
play here. So we're gonna do a small bump
Wow.
here, increasing the physical protections from 40 to 50.
Hello?
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah, you hit the nail on the head there. We think Emperor's Armor is a pretty good item. We're always looking at the support items to see
Fair.
which ones we think we can tweak to give a little bit more love to. Emperor's Armor is one that we still really enjoy, and we think it can have its place, especially, you know, obviously in Conquest. But with a little bit more protections, we think you'll
It's
see it
just
a little more
awkward
often.
because the
That's all it
structures are
is.
not.
Cool. Isaiah's pro
Big
tip:
threat
Emperor's Armor
most of
first
the time right
item
now.
in Assault is OP. Definitely start doing
Hell
that,
yeah.
guys. All right, next
Oh
up,
wait,
we've
it's
got
completely
Hide of
OP in
the
Assault.
Medium
The
Line.
towers
We're
work
seeing a
differently there
nerf
for some
here.
reason.
Increasing the protections required per block stack from 100 to 120.
Yeah, so we changed it to now actually care about your protections to give you block stacks to address
Ooh,
squishy
that's a
characters like Assassins,
lot.
building it as a one-off to get some block stacks. That worked, but it is still too effective. Certain characters and item combinations were triggering multiple block stacks very quickly. So
Yeah.
we're just increasing the threshold a little bit so we can delay some of the stacks that you're getting. It's still going to be quite a potent item, but now it won't just be on so quickly.
It might be worse for supports now, though.
Cool. All right. Well,
Certain
that wraps
supports
it up
won't
for
as easily
7.10
reach that
item balance. Let's start
second
talking
cap
about
anymore.
gods, guys. We got a couple buffs here that are pretty exciting on her. Up first,
Yeah.
Forces
we're making a
very
change
tanky
to
builds.
Disperse. We're going to be decreasing the setup time on the ability and decreasing the leaf time. And I'll let Pon take this one.
Interesting.
Yep. So we use the term setup time and leap time. Setup time is the time from when you hit the button to when on her builds up his leap, so before he actually takes off, and then leap
That's
time
scary.
is the actual travel time. So he's going to be taking off quicker, and he's going to be traveling to his location quicker. This is one thing that we've seen with on-her players where they feel like the leap is very telegraphed, very delayed. It's often difficult to get off in sticky situations. So we just want to make it a little bit easier.
I thought
that'll
that was on
actually go into
purpose,
The next buff that we have
because he
on
has so
this
much
list as
damage
well.
otherwise.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's hop right into it. The next buff for Apollo, we're doing a similar change to the moves, decreasing the setup time and the dash time on the ability.
No, he
Similar
does
to
not
On
need
Her
that.
Bond.
He already has a mess, man.
Yep, similar to On Her, the moves had a build-up time, so when you hit the button, he would wait for a little bit and then dash. That's quicker, and the actual dash itself is quicker. Just to make these hunters more responsive in their movement ability, we think they have a
There's
lot
an
of room to be very
instant
viable
mez.
right now, but these
Like
were
the
kind of holding
fastest
them back and
mez in
making
the
them
game.
difficult to use, especially at the high level. So these changes should help them out a lot.
Slow down the mess in
Definitely
return.
looking
I'm
forward to
down with
seeing
it.
some On Her and Apollo in games here.
Mhm.
Let's talk about
I just hate
Ares
the
up
mess.
next. Bolster defenses. This is a pretty spicy one. Bolster
yeah.
defenses is now going to provide HP 5 to himself
What?
and allies in the aura, starting at 10, scaling all the way up to
Oh, it's
30.
only when it's
And
active.
I'll let Clumsy take this one.
Yeah, so I mean, we've done a lot of things to help give Ares some love, especially in Conquest, right? It's because we wanted to get these buffs catered towards Conquest, because we know in
Interesting.
Arena and other game modes he's already pretty strong, so we want to
Right.
make these buffs, you know, definitely catered towards the Conquest game mode. We had the Flame buff, we had the ulti buff, and now we have Bolster Defenses, one of the abilities that, you know, the community has always seemed is a little bit weaker. So the
I like
HP5
that.
we think will be a nice little touch here. It shouldn't affect the other game modes as much, and honestly, it's not too big of a bolster as well. So it's a small amount of HP 5 for himself and his allies, and it should help him out, you know, in sieges and defenses.
Cool. All right. We'll keep.
Yeah,
it
I don't even
right
know how
on the
long it lasts.
Guardian
It shouldn't make a
train.
major
From
difference. It should be
Ares
like
to RTO. Going to be making a buff to energy surge, increasing the energy
like
surge
30, 50
heal,
HP. I don't know how long it is.
from 40 to 120, going up to 60 to 140 per enemy god hit. And this is actually a rework.
Oh.
Yep. So RTO had a history of when she was launched. She
Ooh.
was very strong. We did a whole bunch of
Yes,
adjustments, and she's
please.
kinda,
Audio
like, gone
buffs.
back and forth since then. This is just a change where she has to be aggressive and very forward to get this heal off. So we want it to be more rewarding than it currently is, and we think that RTO is in a situation where she can actually have this type of buff, and it's healthy for the game.
Cool. All right, let's talk about mages now. Baron Samdi, we're going to be making a buff to Vivid Gaze,
What?
increasing the magical power scaling by 10%.
Oh,
And
it
similar
doesn't
vein
really
with some
matter
of
that
these
much.
other changes, you know, Baron Zombi, he had a lot of love before, and now after, you know, the set of nerfs, we're slowly bringing back the abilities that might make him survive a little bit better, especially in the mid lane. For Conquest specifically, Vivid Gaze, now once you have a little bit more scaling, he'll translate that better early game that we've given him previously with the Vivid Gaze buff to a better late game.
Yeah, I don't even think he
mage style
relies
of play.
on it that much. But
Yep.
For sure.
I'll
All right,
take it.
Fenrir is up next, and he's going to be seeing a buff. First up, Unchained, going to be increasing the base
He
damage
was
of
played in the
ability,
SPL
and then Ragnarok
by Solo
gonna be
Troll
increasing the movement speed buff
in
that
solo,
he gets from
which was
50% to
impressive. It's really
75%.
hard.
Pretty significant.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that
I
is
believe this
actually
Unchange is actually a
big
partial
buff.
revert from a change when he was kind of like running the support role with that high base damage. Partial revert to help with clear and aggressive.
Fully
games,
agree with
as
this
well as
buff. I think
Ragnarok,
Fenrir
the
is just
extra
not
movement speed to really
good
chase
in
down
most
targets
situations
and
right now.
Potentially die further
Really
than
hard to
he
play
would
well.
Otherwise,
Whoa.
it might look like a big buff because 25% is just a
Oh,
it's
diminishing
1.5
returns.
times what it was before, but movement has scaling DR at that point, so it's not really a 25% increase. It's closer to like a 10% movement increase or movement speed
Still
increase
huge,
based off
though.
like how the math works out.
Cool. All right, next up, we've got Hachiman making a change to Eagle Eye. So, long story short, TLDR, the ability is now going to deal the same amount of damage no matter how close or far away you are from your enemy.
Yeah, I mean, we all love some Hachiman. That Eagle Eye specifically, we were always very
Oh.
careful about because we had this difference between
I don't like
when
that.
you can hit people at close range and far range. We wanted to make sure that never felt too oppressive. But after, you know, the years of playing Hachiman, I think we've come to the conclusion that it's probably okay for this just to deal extra bonus damage all the time in kind of the same way. We don't think this is going to be too much of a problem. And,
Both of it
let's
is
give a try.
buffed.
For sure. All right,
No,
next up
I'm
on
not
the
a
list,
fan.
we got Osiris going to be making a change to Sigil Strike, increasing the physical power scaling, and then Lord of the Afterlife. We're going to be actually increasing the max range of the ultimate ability by 10 units, from 55 up to 65.
Yeah, Cyrus has traditionally run this kind of solo lane and been this very
I was
aggressive
thinking
pick.
that the other
With a
day.
lot of the changes in Season 7 and how metas have shaken out, he just kind
I
of
played
always stayed
Osiris and
on
I was like, this
the more
range, it feels
back
so
burner,
short
not
on the
really,
ult.
like,
Am I just
super
stupid? Am I aiming
competitive
wrong?
viable. So we're just increasing the power of
So it's
Sigil
actually
Strike, giving it a
shorter.
little bit extra scaling so it can be more threatening late game, and then Lord of the Afterlife giving him extra diving potential, more flexibility on the range and how far he wants to go into the enemy team, or escape if he needs to.
I think that's actually a lot better.
All right, we are nearing the end of God Balance, guys. Next up, we've got
The
Serpent,
5% doesn't sound like much,
getting
but it's
buff
such a
here.
short
We're making
cooldown as well.
change
That kind of
to
makes
Ambush,
sense.
increasing the physical power scaling from 50%
Was Cyrus also
to
with the new Glad
70%,
Shield?
and then
Well, that could
Cobra's
actually be
Kiss,
sick.
we're going to be decreasing the cooldown from 18 seconds to 16 seconds. Pawn, do you want to take point on this one? Because I know you did some work on it.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh.
So Serket
Okay.
has a very long, complicated history. TLDR, as a jungler, she's always been kind of pretty okay. As a support, when she is in the support role, she can be very, very, very threatening and kind of run the game. We did a lot of nerfs and adjustments to her, and the jungle's changed a lot since a lot of those situations. We want to bring back some strength now that we feel like she's fallen off in both support and jungle. And we want to focus those changes on being more aggressive and rewarding more aggressive play. So Ambush getting scaling increase will make it so that you're incentivized to leap in aggressively with high power builds.
Yeah,
and then
no one
Cobra's
does
Kiss,
that.
the lower cooldown, will just give more flexibility on when you gank and when you can control in team fights outside of just bursting down your single target.
All right, last up.
Well, like,
for
not no one does that,
balance,
but
we've got
rarely
Vamana.
done.
Going to be seeing a buff to Colossal Fury. We're going to be decreasing the movements penalty for attacking, backpedaling, and strafing
What?
by 20% while the ability is active.
What? Why is he getting a buff?
Yeah, so we played a lot with Vamana's ulti and, you know, giving that Atlanta-style effect towards hitting enemies with Colossal Fury.
Why?
We buffed it, we've nerfed it. We wanted to find a middle ground where we thought, you
It's
know,
so
it
good
might not
at-
be it's not too oppressive for the enemies, but it still helps Vamana.
Curse
We wanted to
Art
add
did
this
not
new
make that
rule
much of a
in,
difference.
Just this Hastelis, you know, like effect, because every time you're hitting someone with Vamana with that ulti, you're still slowing yourself down. Now you're doing that a little bit less, and maybe you won't actually need to buy Haste and Fatalis or maybe Frostbound, you know, one or the other.
But what's wrong with having to build that if you focus on the ult? Just slow them with a 3 beforehand.
Got
Eh?
some cool hunter changes.
Knock them up with a
cool
1 so they
assassin
cannot
changes and guardian changes as
create
well.
distance.
So I'm definitely
Like,
looking
that's like
forward
the
to
skill
how
part
things
of it, I
shake up
guess.
when the update
Otherwise,
goes
it's
live
very
on
easy.
October 6th. So let's go ahead and start talking about some of the awesome skins and content that we got. Strange
Strange
in
change,
the
honestly.
Trickster God update. And
Like, I'm
I
down
kinda
with
hinted
Vamana
at
buffs,
earlier,
but-
we're nearing the season of tricks and treats.
Ramen
So
buffs.
of course we got to start talking about the Halloween chest, right, guys? So the first skin that we've got up is Vampirous Amaterasu, and this is kind of the first
Good thing they
really
nerfed it before
darker
that.
take at Ama, and she is looking really creepy. What do you think, Clumsy?
Well, I wouldn't even recognize her as
definitely
Amaterasu.
looking really creepy. I mean, the vampiric aspects, the blood dripping down the chin, definitely giving me some Halloween creepy vibes.
The face looks kind of strange in this
Right,
picture,
no.
at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See what
you're
she looks
right.
like in
we'll
game.
probably be able to see the sword a little bit better
And,
as we go
what's in that
and
glass, you
see
know?
that turnaround in game. There we go. I love the treatment on the sword, how it's kind of
Ooh.
black.
Definitely
and
looks better
it's a little
in game
bit
than the
more
card art. She
grayish
doesn't have
with
that
broken
the
mirrors.
most
The
weird
broken mirror
eyebrows.
is a very nice touch. I was just thinking that.
Oh, that's
For
awesome.
sure. Let's go
I
ahead.
think that
let's go ahead and take a listen to
the
voice
in-game
back
model
from
is way
Vampirous
better than the card art,
Amaterasu.
actually.
You dare to challenge an immortal daughter of darkness.
Actually, a pretty good skin like this.
I do not dare challenge you, Vampirous Amaterasu. Oh, that one was super awesome. And we've got one kind of dark and creepy skin for Halloween, but we've got another one that kind of celebrates the dressing upness and the fun aspect of the holiday. Next up, we've got Pumpkin Spice Discordia, and she is looking super awesome. She's got her witch outfit ready, got a kitty and
Got
a
her
pumpkin.
kitty cat.
God, I already got baited by
Yeah,
Medusa,
I'm
by
really
Nemesis.
excited about this one. I gotta write the voice back, and I may have like named little kitty cat after my little kitty cat. So
Nemesis and Discordia, with Nemesis having her
Nice.
witch
Let's
skin,
go
and now
ahead and take a
Discordia
look
has
at the
one of them as
turnaround
well.
in game. And
I'm gonna get
Clumsy,
baited even more.
I'm sure you had a ton of fun writing the voice back here. So let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Pumpkin Spice Discordia.
Despite the outfit, I am a real witch. So you better have some candy for me.
Is
For
her
sure.
ult the cat? She's holding the cat like the apple, so is her ult the
Yeah,
cat?
it's the little
you
kitty.
know
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Oh my goodness,
very
that's
good.
amazing.
Surprised they're not showing off the abilities.
Well, that is coming your way in the Halloween chest, guys.
For
when
that
the
one.
7.10 update goes live. But let's go ahead and kind of switch gears and start talking about the Odyssey Reckoning. We've got a few more awesome skins that are going to be coming in this update, and we'll kick it
Let's
off
go.
with Gummy Worm Medusa. And I know Titan Cupcake,
What?
I can hear her screaming now. She
Oh,
loves all the
God.
candy-themed skins, and I'm definitely
my
loving the
gosh.
treatment here.
Oh no.
Dude, rip all those people in the background. They're all
Oh,
gummy
I
statues.
didn't even know. Oh, she just turned them into hard
Unfortunate.
candy. Yeah, that's super unfortunate. Let's go ahead and take a look at the turnaround in game because I'm super curious.
This has so
on
many
how it's
skins,
looking.
though.
Wow.
Of course, the bright colors.
But it does work
really,
out.
really
All
pretty.
these candy
The candy
things.
bracelet on the
Oh
tail,
my
that's so
god.
cool. There's so many cool touches
Oh.
here.
Look at the head
I
as well,
know,
the candy
right? Let's
effect
go ahead and
like of
take a
these
listen to the
snakes.
voice pack for this one.
That's actually really well done. And the bow as well.
So many sweets to pick from. Oh, how will I choose?
So it
Oh.
looks like she is definitely she turns people into the candy so she can eat them later.
Exactly.
That's how this is working
No,
out.
I was like piecing that together as well. It's like, wait a second, that's kind of
Right?
gruesome.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Next up in the Odyssey Reckoning, one that I'm super excited about, Sniper Tech Raw. You guys know me. You know I love all the mech skins.
Oh yeah.
And this one is super awesome. And I was told
Are we still doing
we
mech
have to go in
skins?
game and show this one.
Raw
off
has so
because
many
the
better
ultimate is apparently
skins, in my opinion.
super crazy. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Somehow
at
I feel like it's gonna have a
turnaround
silent
before we
ult,
get
though.
things ready. Pon's gonna drive in game and show things off. But I'm definitely loving the stance and the armor treatments here. Looking really good. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack before we go in game.
You want to see a big gun? Oh, I'll show you a big gun.
All right,
Wait, why are we
let's
going in
do
game?
it.
I want to see it.
For
I mean, I
this
guess
one of all
together,
skins.
but I also want to see it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. One looking clean. Not too much going on. Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
I like the build up. You can see the build up on like the blind effects with that ability, which is sick.
Oh my
wait.
gosh.
Never mind,
I
the
love
ult's
how he
actually
just gets
normal
set and just,
sound.
like, a
But the
gun
cannon
just
thing is
appears on
obviously
his
cool.
shoulder for
That is
a
nice.
supercharged shot. Pon blessing
Now I see
us
why we
with
went
the
in game.
slow-mo. Oh my
Ooh,
goodness,
that's
that is
cool.
so
That does
clean.
sell the skin a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, this one is going to be available in the Odyssey.
Trying to
Reckoning
figure out where the
update.
parts
If
of
you
the
guys
gun
love
are
Big
coming
Gun,
from.
That Sniper Tech Raw
They
should
just
I want that
be sure
big gun.
to start
unfolding.
participating in the event here. And then we've got the reward skin coming up in 710 for
Feels like
the
a true
Odyssey
raw
Reckoning,
snipe.
and it is Primal Spirit Kernanos, and this one is kind of in the theme of some of our other Spirit skins. This one I'm
Ooh.
definitely loving.
Ooh,
The
that looks cool.
symbols and like all the
Don't
treatment.
care
I
for
love this
Kernanos,
card
but
art
if I
too,
did,
with all the
I would want
animal
that.
spirits kind of, you know, in the background.
Oh my gosh, I love all the animals.
I want to see
Yeah,
what
I
its
love this line
different
of skins,
seasons
and they
are.
made this one seem like really different, which is really cool.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the turnaround here, because I'm super excited to see what it looks like in game. Yep, for sure. This is an insta-equip for me. Loving the aesthetic here.
Seeing the material in game, like it makes it seem so much cooler.
I know, right? Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Primal Spirit Kernanos.
Why did you come here with such intent? There are less painful ways to die.
Oh, I love that.
There we go.
The vibe
So he
is
is the
definitely
protector
cool.
of the
Right.
forest. Seems like he's probably not out to kill you, but like if you run up to him and you know treat him the wrong way, he's definitely up to protect his homies. For sure. Well, that wraps it up, guys, for everything coming your way, content and skin-wise, in the 7.10 update.
Except
We know that
Loki.
you guys have been waiting for the Loki
Yes.
rework. We are ready to start going over it, and we will be right back to cover the Trickster God right after this break.
What, they're doing another break?
Alright, so you know how sometimes it's just a prank, bro? Well, that's where Loki comes in, the trickster god. You see, some people might call someone who breaks the rules and takes what he wants regardless of who gets hurt a villain, but Loki prefers the term opportunist. And sure, it was foretold that Loki would play a part in the coming of Ragnarok, which would leave the gods slain, the heavens sundered, and the world in ashes, but he's not a bad guy, he's just misunderstood. Loki's such a prankster, he could start a YouTube channel. Just ask Balder, the god of light. You see, Balder had a prophetic dream of his own death, so his mama went and made all objects in the world swear to never harm him. Only one object did not swear, mistletoe. Learning this, Loki went and forged a spear from the plant and gave it to Balder's brother. Now, the god's new favorite pastime had become throwing objects at Balder and watching them bounce harmlessly off. You see where this is going? Balder's brother threw the spear, and oops, Balder was impaled. So he died, and Loki was imprisoned. He was bound in entrails, and a big old serpent was put above him, where it dripped venom onto his face, causing him to shake the world with his anguish. So, hashtag worth?
Wait, was this new? Did they bring
That is
Nevercake
the
back?
Trickster God for you.
Is that just
a
an
little bit
old one?
of a sneak peek into his lore. Shout out to Nevercake for the amazing video. It is time to start getting into the nitty gritty of what's changing with the Trickster God and his
Loki rework, let's go.
I kind of wanted to kick things off and kind of throw to you guys, Pod and Clumsy, just to talk briefly to me about Loki, his history, not only in game but amongst the community as well.
Yeah, do you want to start, Clumsy?
Yeah, I mean, sure. This is a long one. We've done loads of different posts about it. I mean, we have the massive document talking about whether we want to do the Loki rework or not. I mean, Loki is definitely a super controversial god. He's one of the ones that there's a lot of people who have a massive fan base towards Loki. And there's a lot of people who just don't ever want to see him in one of your games. And I mean, I'm not going to disagree and say that like I'm not one of those people who likes to see Loki just backdooring and doing all those frustrating things and one-shotting me because I'm a mage player and oh god, get away from me. But I mean, so we took this chance and we wanted to get Loki. We wanted to still give him the feeling of Loki. He still behaves the same way he does. And we all wanted to make the mains happy. We wanted to make the people who play against Loki happy. And I think we've come together to compromise on the different abilities that we're going to see today. And we should, hopefully, everyone will be in some way happy.
Yeah, he is the stereotypical assassin. He's the person who stealth sneaks up behind you, surprises you. And that's one thing I think people who really like Loki love, but also people who despise Loki hate, is that surprise aspect, that burst, the feeling of counterplay. He breaks kind of some of the rules that we have around like minion aggro and tower aggro. So the goal with this rework was to really try and keep that core feeling of him being this kind of surprise burst assassin who can jump and isolate a single target, but remove some of the frustration aspects, give people more counterplay opportunities, and give him a bit more teamfight presence so he isn't just the single target burst assassin. He has more tools available to him now, but they're not really impeding on necessarily other gods' niches. Just a little bit better than what he currently has. And I think we've come to a really cool compromise. People internally who've been playing him in these playtests have been loving him, saying they really like playing Loki now. So hopefully we've made everyone happy. We'll see though.
All right. Well, I'm ready. I know chat's ready. Are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and go in
I
game.
am so ready for this.
Rework reveal off. And Pawn is our gracious driver today. And we'll go ahead and start off with general.
New icons for everything except stealth.
We're just increasing the basic attack damage on the initial hit from 80% to 100%.
Nice. Good.
Pawn, I'll let you kind of take the reins here and talk to us about this change.
Yep. So one thing that we did really early on during like trying to balance Loki was we actually removed the burst from the first basic attack. That was because he could in-hand cancel, and that burst was just really, really high. So we took away a lot of the power of the in-hand cancel. But because this kit has different functionality now, we feel like he doesn't need that arbitrary penalty on him anymore. And he was really the only character in the game that had that kind of arbitrary penalty.
For sure. Cool.
I just realized he gets a new common cancel now with the two.
The best way to kind of go about this is just talk about some of the new abilities and how the passive intertwines with those new abilities. So first off, before we hop into those, let's talk about Vanish just a little bit. Of course, this was all explained kind of in the blog post that we put out earlier in the year. But Loki, of course, will now fade into stealth. But now, if Loki takes damage while he is stealth, he's now going to be revealed for a short time.
Which won't really make a difference.
So you can see right here, for Loki.
There we go.
It's just the same as the damage number.
If he stealths, he will actually go, you'll see him for a little bit, and if you hit him with any sorts of damage, he'll be a little bit revealed. Good players are familiar with tracking the damage numbers. Yeah. This little bit of extra visibility will help players learn that mechanic without giving too much away for the Loki player.
For sure. So just a short amount of time, if he takes damage while he is in stealth, he's got the little shadowy aura that appears in place of his actual model.
The only thing it's changed is it shows its direction clearer.
Right, let's go ahead and let's talk about decoy into agonizing vision. So decoy, no longer going to be the ability. It is being made into a new ability called agonizing vision. And Pawn, what's going on with this one?
Yep, so Agonizing Vision is now, rather than a dot that aggro, or a deployable that aggroes minions and then does an explosion, it does damage over time to anyone standing in it, and reducing the damage they deal when they're poisoned. Additionally, if they stay too long in it, they become blinded, and you can actually benefit from behind you with any direction. So you can see I'm actually getting the behind you bonus damage, even in front of this Odin after he's been blinded.
Nice.
And just so you can kind of see the blind, we'll have the Loki over here.
Ticks are very quick, so you have to get out very quickly. It looks like it could actually hit a full wave, which is very interesting. I thought they don't want to do that.
Definitely obscures your vision, but you can still see things. So you can still make mistakes, but you might miss things in the chaos of a fight.
For sure. It's like he is sharing the poison that he has been, it's been dripping on his face. Now it's your turn to have a little bit of what he's been going through.
And one awesome note here as well.
Oh, go ahead, Quincy.
Yeah, I was just going to say one awesome note as well is that, all the skins have been updated with all these different things, and seeing the different effects and different post-process effects is a really cool job done by the effects team.
Oh yeah, how's my mariachi?
This one is really strong.
My guitar needs tuning.
I like the idea that we were able to bring in lore ties, which traditionally Loki's base kit actually didn't really have super strong lore ties to what he does in lore, but this lets you kind of see what he went through and underwent, and just the vision of seeing it, you feel that pain. So it's like shared pain. You understand more where Loki's coming from.
Definitely.
You can empathize a little bit with the Loki players, what you're saying.
Yep.
For sure. All right, let's talk about aimed strike, now flurry strike. Loki is now going to unleash a flurry of daggers, 5 strikes really quickly. Pawn, if you want to show off the ability, and if you guys want
to it looks better now.
What's going on?
Yep. So aim strike specifically, when
one
of the problems that Loki had previously was he could stealth onto someone, auto attack, and then use aim strike to get that immediate reset to do another burst of damage. And that burst window was very hard to deal with. It was very hard to understand what was even happening to you. So now it's more of a longer duration channel clear ability that does damage if you can stay on the target longer. So it's 5 rapid strikes into a final big wind-up strike that slows and does more damage. And you can also see a cool interaction is from the front, I do normal damage, and from the back, I do behind you damage.
Which means you want to apply the 2 first.
Not only synergizes with the passive now, and is better clear for jungle or wave clear, but it also, if you do something like this where you blind someone, you can get the behind you proc from the front. So there's a lot more kit synergy inside the base kit itself.
Oh, I love that.
It's actually pretty quick as well.
So there's a lot of things. There's like we're saying. There's this kit synergy with these new abilities. Is also removing the frustrations, right? It's again the stuff with the blog post. So now the new 2, it's not there to taunt enemies. It's there for a completely different aspect. The new 3, it's not this instant strike of damage. It's spread out over time, giving enemies the ability to actually Aegis it. You know, we're just trying to slowly remove those things that made it frustrating to play against Loki, but giving him new things to help him out with instead.
For sure. And I mean, it's not to say that, you know, the new flurry strike doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, especially if you got the behind you procs.
If you get the full channel off, especially from behind you, it does some damage. So try and interrupt Loki, try and get away, use your Aegis to avoid the final hit especially.
It's so quick, it feels like it's barely going to be possible to interrupt.
Lethal, that's for sure.
Maybe the last strike.
For sure. Well, speaking of being lethal, let's go ahead and talk about Assassinate, the ultimate ability. So Assassinate, it's going to... pretty big adjustments here. It's now a kind of like 2-part ability with a teleport and into a secondary hit that now does an AoE stun. And I'll let Pawn take it away and show it off, and we'll talk about it.
Same targeter? That's quick still.
Yep, so you can see he does the very similar things that he did before, where he actually teleports onto a target. You can aim it, you can teleport anywhere you want to, and when you lock on the target, you do an initial bit of damage. This initial bit of damage, rather than stunning like
even if you miss, you still do damage.
Now cripple, so the target can't leap away.
It's 50-50 damage, I think.
But most of the damage and the harder CC is actually on the follow-up hit. So you can see and do the kind of like wind-up cone into the big strike. These are the things that you want to try and avoid or Aegis or try and beat to get out of. One unique thing that Loki now brings is this is actually a pretty big stun area. So you can see there, I jumped on this Odin, maybe I want to stun this target. I can freely aim that. I jump on this Odin, I can stun these 2. Or
I don't want to say it, but I think I'm an Odin fan now. Loki fan now.
And aim it to try and hit as many targets as I can. So this ultimate not only has more counterplay for people who are playing
it's so much more fun.
But Loki gets a lot of extra utility out of this. He can team fight if
actually
people are pumped up in really clever ways. He can force people to move
fitting
together
into the
with
meta.
this poison field so they avoid being blinded, and then teleport to get a whole bunch of stuns off. So again, sticking with the theme, extra control for Loki, extra telegraph for enemies to play around, new utility that he brings, so it's not just a perceived nerf for the feeling of things coming out a bit slower. He gets extra tools to make up for that feel more fair to play around.
Very interesting.
For sure. Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like he's got, you know, just some more or different engage opportunities off of his ultimate now, which is really cool. Pawn showing off the kit just a little bit more. So as you're doing that, guys, now that we've gone through kind of most of the rework and what's going on, where do you guys see Loki now post the 7.10 update?
His jungle play is going to be crazy.
Style is going to be, and what do you guys recommend?
Right, his lane
so we've messed around a lot because we know that the place that he currently plays right now is kind of like this weird solo or supporty build because his jungle clear isn't quite good enough, and he uses like his split pushing. We've played him around in the solo lane, we played him in the support role, we played him in the jungle, and with this extra clear from Flurry Strike being a pretty effective clear tool, the 2 also being an effective clear tool because now it's not a pet. It actually benefits from things like Assassin's Blessing.
Also procs instantly.
Is a little bit more consistent. You can kind of brawl with people and not just rely on decoy. But I do think he's going to fall mostly to the jungle role.
Cool. What about you, Clumsy?
Yeah, I feel similarly. We've given him tries and playtests both in the jungle role and in solo. I think one of our primary goals was definitely to make sure that he can thrive in the jungle, and I would say that that would be the best place for players to give him a try in. Just like Pon said, the abilities 3 and 2 can now clear the jungle pretty effectively, where previously, you know,
Mage's Blessing could be really good as well, though.
And his gank potential is still extremely high.
Loki
it may
mid.
not be as much of in a burst, but over time, it's probably actually doing even more damage.
If
And
you
then you
can
can carry that over to the late game. That's the most important thing. You don't feel as singularly, you know, closed down when you've used all your abilities and that one person is left.
That's a huge zoning now with the 2.
You can actually contribute more to the fight with this new Loki playstyle.
Yeah.
For sure. Well,
if the enemy is
I'm super
sieging your
excited
Phoenix
for this
and you
rework.
put down the
I
2,
can't
it's
wait
actually
for the
going to make a
rest of the
difference.
community to get their hands on the new kit, try it out, and tell us what they think. But another thing that I can't wait for the community to get their
It's
hands
actually
on
amazing.
is actually with this rework, we are introducing a new Loki recolor that is called Stealth Slayer. You guys might have seen it on the patch badge or on social media. We
Let's
teased
see.
it out. But this recolor is going to be a standard recolor. You guys will be able to get it for favor or for gems.
Oh.
Or for the first week of the update,
Okay.
after it launches, you'll be able to earn the skin for free after getting 2 first wins of the day. So
Never
definitely
mind.
celebrating the Loki rework.
I
with
thought
an
that was
awesome
the
new
God
recolor.
Premium thing.
And I love the card art, but let's go ahead and take
Premium
a look at
pass,
the
whatever.
turnaround here.
Sweet.
To get a better look at
Free
what
skin,
the model
honey.
is going to look like.
Looks
And
cool
I
as
love
well.
the whites and blues here. What do you guys think?
Just so
it's a very
clean. I
swell
love it.
skin. I like this one a lot.
Definitely.
It'll look
looking
good by
super
using
clean.
the new rework.
For sure. Yep. I was gonna say the exact same thing.
I have
Gonna look good
zero
while it's playing with the new
complaints. I'm
rework.
sure other people
Definitely
will,
looking
but
super awesome. Well,
I
that
think this is
wraps it up for the
fantastic.
Loki rework, guys. Do you guys have anything in closing that you want to tell the community about Loki before we close the show?
Just that it was really cool thing to kind of work on, where so many polarizing opinions exist about this character that we had to really collect feedback, really talk about like what we wanted to do. It's really rare that we get a chance to like explore it really that in depth, and like if you ever seen the dev blog post be that long to explain why we're doing a change, and the iterative feedback where we got feedback from everyone. We did a second round dev stream talking about it. Just this whole process has been really, really cool to go through, and I hope really everyone enjoys this Loki rework.
Most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have any doubts, give Loki a try. I think you'll be very happy.
For sure. And I do have one final note before we close. I definitely wanted to address Loki and the rework and how we're kind of treating Loki being banned in like ranked and competitive play. So the current idea now in the direction that we're going is once the rework launches, he will be available for play in ranked immediately, but we will be competitively banning Loki for a couple weeks from the SPL, SCC, and SOC, just to give the pro players a little bit of time to feel out Loki after the rework before he hops right into competitive play.
Cool.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for the show, guys. Pon Clumsy, as always, thank you guys for hanging out with me for about an hour here and going over everything. Community, thanks so much for tuning in and watching. PTS targeted for this weekend on Friday, so be sure to keep an eye out on social media. We'll be sure to make announcements on everything that goes over for that. So be sure to take it easy, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, gotta turn it down before the music starts. Sweet. I think the Loki rework is actually like better than expected, especially because they added the delays for the 3 and the ultimate, but the delays are very short. Like it's very short animation time and very short transition time. So I think this is gonna be huge. I think Loki is gonna be super fun to play based on this. I'm gonna look into the numbers, of course, in just a little bit, but so far I am very, very excited, and hopefully things turn out the way that I'm like feeling like it's going to be. But yeah, that's it for the patch notes. I think that was really, really good. The only change I'm unhappy with is Atalanta's bow. Everything else is really nice. And with that, thank you guys very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, feel free to sub button and ring the bell so you get notified of all the upcoming stuff, all the upcoming low-key content. We're gonna have a lot of that over the weekend. And other than that, obviously for the next one soon, we're gonna have the patch note review of the written version as well. Duke Sloth out.